Good evening, Algebra 1 families. Let me introduce myself. I am Erin Moody, and I am excited to be teaching your students in person this year and getting to know them. If you ever need to get a hold of me, email by far is the best way to do so. So just send an email to emoody@nsd.org, and I do my very best to try and respond within 24 hours. I do have 150 students, so sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't, but I will do my best, I promise. All right, just a little bit about myself, give you some perspective of just what my history is. I am actually a product of North Shore School District. I went to Lockwood Elementary from kindergarten, Kenmore Junior High at the time, and I graduated from Inglemoor High School. I then went to Western Washington University and got my degree in math education, and I actually finished that very degree with student teaching here at Bothell High School a long time ago. I then married my high school sweetheart, and he decided he was going to be a dentist. And so he enrolled in NYU Dental School. So we picked up and moved to New York City. And while we were there, he was studying a whole bunch. And so I was like, well, I never get to see you, so I might as well get my master's degree. So I decided to go to Queens College and get my master's degree, also in math education. While we're there. And I have been a national board certified teacher since 2010, and thankfully will continue to be through at least 2030. My teaching experience, I did spend 4 years teaching in New York City at Grover Cleveland High School in Queens. The 20-year anniversary of 9/11 just happened, and the backside of that school that you see a picture of actually looks at Midtown Manhattan, but you can also look down at downtown. And so we had to teach the entire day because they didn't know if more planes were coming, and so we just taught. And the people on the third floor had a view of downtown the entire day. It's all very surreal, and I have very vivid memories of it. But my last year in New York, I literally had a phone interview to come back to Bothell High School, and I've been here ever since, and I love it. I wouldn't be anywhere else. One of the things I'm hoping to do with students this year is do a virtual locker. I did it last year and it was really great. I learned a lot about the students. So I'm hoping to do that with the Algebra 1 kids when I feel like there's time they've settled in, because it's kind of a training month right now. So just so for me, this is mine. I'm definitely a nerd at heart. I love Harry Potter. I love Disney. You can see the Harry Potter Legos behind me. I'm a soccer mom. I do Jillian Michaels. I run. I do like to read. I did terrible at reading this summer though. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me, and I'm hoping to do this with your students. So maybe in a month, ask them if they've done theirs, because I think it's really fun to see what they put in their locker. Let's see. Just so you know, the struggles that you may be experiencing at home with your own children, I may also be struggling with. I have a junior this year who's actually in my pre-calc class that I teach, and a freshman this year. So I get it. We're definitely going through what I call broken brain syndrome at our house right now, where the kids just do things that you're like, what is happening? So I get it. I can empathize with what you're going through. Just so you know, graduation requirements for mathematics. You have to have 3 credits of math. Those typical credits are Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2, although there are other options like robotics would meet the Algebra 2 requirements. So as your students get there, they can make some decisions about where to go with that. So your students are currently in Algebra 1. We are really working hard to create a strong foundation to move forward successfully for geometry and Algebra 2. Some of your students right now may feel like I'm going painfully slow, and other students may feel like I'm going way too fast. So I'm trying to balance those as best I can, while keeping in mind that ultimately there are Algebra 1 objectives that I need to get through, because when colleges see a grade on a transcript, that grade reflects mastery of those objectives. And so I do have to keep in mind the pace and those objectives in the end. If you are looking for information like assignments, I post assignments to Schoology every single day. So if your student is absent, they should be looking for that information on Schoology. If they're looking for when a test might be scheduled, that would be in Schoology. If they're looking for grades, grades are in Parent View /Student View. There may occasionally be a grade inputted into Schoology, but do not ever consider the Schoology grade as the overall grade. Accurate grades will always be in parent view, so please check that out. Help is available. So before, after school, I'm usually here at 7:30. Is that right? 45 minutes early? Yeah, 7:30. So I'm happy to help students if they come in. Sometimes I'm running around a little crazy because I have to make copies or whatever. So if I know ahead of time, I will plan accordingly. I can be here after school too, although usually I'm not as long. As you parents know, these kids are busy. My own children are busy, and this later schedule has kind of thrown everything out of whack. So I can be here. I would just like to know ahead of time. I always provide time in class to work, always. So students should be using that time to get work done. So again, I sent you guys all an email and I said, please don't say like, did you have homework? Like say, can I see what you did in class day? Can I see your math assignment? Because I guarantee they had something. They may in fact have finished it, which is awesome. But don't let them say, oh no, I did it, or no, I don't have any. Just ask to see it. Please email me if you have any questions. Students can also email me if they have questions. Like I said, I'll do my best to respond within 24 hours. Not as much of a problem with these students. I feel like the middle school students weren't quite as aware of math apps as like my juniors, my algebra pre-calc students coming from Algebra 2. It's definitely become a problem though. And so please, if your student has a math app on their phone, or maybe you're looking over their shoulder when they're on their Chromebook and they're pulling up something, please like try and curb all of that behavior. I saw this link to this article highlights some popular math apps, but like this week I learned about a new one called Math Papa. So it's not helping. It's actually creating a dependency, and then they're not actually learning things. They're just copying what the app is doing for them. Expectations. So yeah, the expectation is I assign work daily. Again, I'm trying to give time in class to do that because I want them to ask questions when I'm available. So they may be finished in class, which is great. They also need to correct that work. So it needs to be done daily so they can make corrections. If they don't do it daily, then they miss out on the opportunity to learn where they're making errors. I do an assignment check every 5 to 6 assignments. Basically what that means is, say assignments 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to say assignment 6, please copy down problem 12. Assignment 11, please copy down question 22. And ultimately what I'm looking for is that they have done the work and they've corrected it, so that on quizzes, which are open note, I know that their work in their journal is correct and accurate to study from and accurate to model from. So I don't expect them to get 100% on their assignments. I expect them to struggle, but I do expect them to make corrections. And so really what I'm assessing is that they've done it and made corrections. And assignments are only worth 10% of their total grade. Again, we're aiming towards, a lot of these students do attend some higher level education, and in college it's 100% assessments and 0% assignments. So even though they're assigning stuff, they're not checking any of it. Quizzes are in fact open notes. That includes assignments. So anything they take notes on, any assignments they do is a resource that they can use on a quiz. Because it's open note, quizzes don't have retakes. So just a heads up on that. And then unit assessments are at the end of each unit. They are not open notes, so it's really their opportunity to demonstrate what they have learned and what they have mastered. Retakes are allowed on assessments if they have done all of the work. And I use the football practice analogy. If Bothell football never practiced and showed up in Moses Lake for the game, we all know how that would turn out. They would lose. So then they lose the game. If they raise their hands and be like, we want a rematch, Moses Lake would be like, you're crazy, you're gonna lose again. So it's the same thing with a math test. Assignments are practice for the math test. And if you don't practice, it's not gonna go well. And if you ask for retake, that's not gonna go any better. I'm not in the business of assessing memorization. So if they have done all the work and they've done all the necessary prep work and they have a bad day, then by all means, let's retake it so that you can really demonstrate to me what you have in fact learned and mastered. And quizzes and assessments in combination are worth 90% of their overall grade. That's pretty much all I've got for you. So like I said, please reach out anytime, send me an email, emoody@nsd.org. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm happy to work with you to help you determine how to get your child on track or be successful. Whatever the case may be, just let me know. Hope you guys have a great night.